Hey folks, Toaster back. Got a replay for you from Rezorepla. Anyway, I probably butchered their name. Anyway, I think we're going to call you Rezo just because that's a little easier for us, and I'm probably still pronouncing that wrong. He's a relatively new viewer, and we're happy to show your guys' replays, especially right now. I just do not have the time to make my own replays. I don't have the time to get ace tankers, unfortunately. But yeah, Rezo is in the Firefly. We are on the map Cliff, and there is only one Artie. As this Type 64 decides he's going to climb the hill while he's spotted. So that did not work too well for him. So it's going to be kind of a slow replay at first, but the Firefly has a fantastic gun. It's somewhat of an easy 8. Basically, it's got about the same armor layout, which means the armor is pretty bad on the hull, but the armor on the turret is not too bad. So, I mean, it's good enough against HE at this tier, unless you're facing a KV2. But the gun is really quite good. It's got, let's see, 150 damage and 171 penetration. To put that in perspective, the gold pen on the Easy 8 is 177. So, and if he dabs the 2 key, he ends up with 239 pen, which means he could pen IS6s, IS3s, and the gold, or the HE pen, is a 190 average damage and a 38 penetration. So not that great, but sometimes it'll work for Artie and things like that. So his team is going to start out kind of not playing the game very well, and he's going to have to pick things up. But that's obviously often how you get ace tankers. And what you'll see is Rezo here stays alive, right? And what do I tell you guys? Staying alive is one of the most important things you can do. As the AMX-17B ends up throwing some shots at him, so he's going to throw some shots back. And he can tell that's not a hit, because you can see the splash, and that looks like it might have been a hit. So we'll have to look at the after action and see whether or not he hits any of these blind shots. So there's a KV2 on the other side somewhere, as he gets hit by the Thunderbolt and ammo racked there. So, uh-oh, run, back away, back away. And the KV2 snapshots, and luckily does not make a connection. That could have ended his game, but it also could have just chunked him for 300-400 damage. So that was a really important shot not to get hit by. And so Rezo makes an adjustment, obviously, and he moves towards the safety of this hill here. Two things it does. One is it makes you safe from Artie, or relatively safe from Artie. And the other thing that it does is it keeps you safe from the guys in the middle, and also on the donut. So it's actually quite a strong position. And our KV2 is looking at us. I think I would have backed up there, but nevertheless, he gets splashed by Artie, but no big deal, right? So we only have 158 damage, and it's 5-8. But Rezo's going to have his time in the limelight here, as he sees a Hellcat, and the enemy team is just pushing like mad. So notice he is attempting to get himself into a position where he's harder to hit, and not working great right now, but now he's able to kind of put some shots in. So this thing's got really good DPM too, and that is going to be the end of the AC4. And that is an excellent tracking shot. And because he tracked that guy twice, he's able to get a little bit of assist there. And more importantly, as he puts another shot in, More importantly, he made that Hellcat miss when he tracked him, right? So this T-150 is a problem because he's perma-spotting our hero here, and our hero's going to try and figure out how he can make that work as the enemy is trundling towards his base. The thing is, capping on this map is kind of really not all that easy because you can sit up on this deck and spot these guys, or you can come over here and spot them. And so, yeah, I just don't see the logic in that. Be careful, Rezo. That guy's probably got a 300 alpha gun, and you're a one-shot for him. So that T-150 is actually in a pretty good spot, and he's been spotting our hero for quite some time. So, ooh, you don't want to get spotted in the open here because these guys, if they're climbing this hill, could shoot you. So, but nevertheless, the T-78 takes him out, and looks like we're going back to defend. Now, the requirements on this Firefly are not very high, and it's kind of weird because you would think they would be higher with the pen on the gun. Now notice he backs off behind the bush before he fires, which is fantastic, and he picks up his second kill. So 1,600 damage, and a Hellcat in the open is a good thing. And you notice he's just nosing his front out, and the Hellcat has fired, so he knows he's got at least one shot, and it looks like he's going to take him out. And that just leaves the Artie for 3 kills. So gets Artie safe here, and he lets his teammate know it. And knowing that he's got 134 hit points, he goes to a position that he feels like the Artie, if the Artie moves, might be able to spot him out, or he'll let his T-78 spot him, because the T-78 has quite a bit of health. No, not a lot, but some. But between the two of them, if they spot Artie, it's game over for Artie. This thing fires so fast. So I think it's smart to do what he's doing. Gets up behind the bush here, and he's just kind of waiting. So good game so far. Action-packed, huh? Tier 6 games are fun because they are action-packed. So, and you're firing your gun a lot. If you want to get a lot of damage, you got to fire a lot because your alpha isn't generally very high. So he's just waiting to see what gets spotted, and there he is, M44. See if he picks up this kill here. Just 2 shots in, and the T-78 takes him out. But that's 2,470 damage, 3 kills, and a tier 6 tank, and then 524 spotting. Let's look at the after action and see how he did. Okay, indeed, we got an ace tanker, and Rezorepla, I guess that's how I'm going to say it, got a high caliber as well. 2,470 damage, so he didn't hit any of those blind shots, but 1,280 XP. He was top on XP and top on damage, it looks like, as well. That T-78 did pretty well, and of course KV-2s, if they hit their shots, are going to do good. So 30 shots, 21 hits, 18 pens. That's not uncommon when you're snapshotting with a tier 6 gun. But he ended up with 600 assists, so that takes him over 3,000, 3,100 combined, and a tier 6 is a great game. And he ended up making 106,000 credits, and looks like he did a multiplier on this and ended up with 8,200 XP, which is fantastic for his crew. So I appreciate you sending that in. I appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Toanster out.